Hey love, welcome to the ChiLove radio show. It's Melanie Monday. We're here on Pop Radio Worldwide, iHeartRadio, and Spotify Premium. So, hello my little family. How y'all been doing? I missed you all last week. Today we will be talking about PTSD and the holidays. This is December. This is the month of Christmas. Next Monday is my birthday. It's just fabulous times here. Usually during this time, if you go on certain blocks or downtown or down Lakeshore Drive, you see all of the wonderful lights and everything. And when we do get the snow, it's just that Christmas feeling. But unfortunately, we don't always have that warm, cozy feeling like we used to back when we were younger and our grandmothers and everyone was still alive, certain family members and such. So because of this, the holidays just don't seem as warm as they used to. Sometimes you feel just as cold on the inside of your body as it is on the outside in the street. And this is because you've experienced some form of trauma. Hi, Marlon, Andrew, Hogan, Robert Thompson, Tyrone Christopher. Just giving a few shout outs to some of my Facebook followers and friends on Facebook. You can follow me at Melanie Hogan on Facebook. And I see y'all give you a shout out. Okay, so here are some tips to help you to start to cope. Let's talk about death. That's one thing that usually brings a lot of depression during the time of the holidays, during the holiday season. We lose people that are very close to us, and they played a significant role in our lives, and especially during the holidays when you're used to seeing everybody come around, and that person or those people's absence can make you feel like it's just not the same anymore. But life does go on, and you're still breathing, and you still have a heartbeat, and you still have other people around you that you love and who love you. So I'm just going to start to provide some type of coping mechanisms that you can implement, because in order for us to get better, we must apply the knowledge. So here's the first tip. You can choose what you would do. A lot of times we feel obligated, especially during the holiday season, and everyone is having their dinners or grab bags or whatever type of little seasonal fun that is planned, and you try to please everyone, and you want to just do a little bit of everything, or you feel obligated to do so. You are not obligated to make everybody's parties, to just interact with everybody just based on the time of year. So if you know that you have, say, a particular family member, and you kind of have bad blood with them, and it's to the point to where in history there has been confrontations and altercations behind it, and it's just this person just really puts a bad taste in your mouth. And I know here in Chicago and all over, we're taught family first, so you're supposed to look over certain things. But if their presence is causing you extreme anxiety and depression and so forth, you can opt out of attending that event. Or you can just decide, okay, I need to go over grandmama's house. The rest of my family here. Cousin JoJo here. I'm not crazy about cousin JoJo, but cousin Lala here, and I love me some Lala. So, okay, you can decide, I'm going to go over Granny's house, but I'm not going to stay for the entire duration of the event. I'm just going to stay about 25-30 minutes so that I can, show my face, give some love, see my favorite cousin, give JoJo a nod, keep it pushing, and I'm out. So you have to do what is best for you. You must know what you yourself can handle and how much of it. And as a support system, we must understand that feelings do matter. And a lot of times our first notion is to tell a person to get out your feelings. But we're not robots. We're human beings. So there are going to be situations and different things that will cause us to respond in ways that somebody else may have just shook off. But unfortunately, when it happened to you, it puts you in a state of depression or gave you an overwhelming feeling of anxiety. So, as family, as people who tell you that they love you, they should be able to understand that this is bothering this person. And I need to give them the space and the opportunity to handle it in a healthy manner. Because you don't want to keep pressing a person to the point where they end up snapping out or having an angry outburst, and it's ending in some sort of violence and somebody else getting hurt, when that person could have just took the time that they needed to try to heal themselves from whatever situation occurred. But in the meantime, while we're going over these coping mechanisms, I want you to not focus on just the trauma in your life during this time of year. Find reasons to live. Find motivation in your life. If you can't find it, create it. You don't know how long. That's the thing about life. We could be here today and gone tomorrow. Simple as that. And not have had any signals telling us that these were our last moments here. So you can surround yourself around people that you know love you, who take you into consideration, who take the time to understand where you're coming from, and even if they don't understand it, they respect you enough to accept it. So if you don't have those type of people around you, then sometimes you do have to start to distance yourself from certain individuals and maybe go to a support group. You can Google is your best friend during these times. Isolating yourself is definitely not the answer. You need some sort of social interaction because it helps to feed the soul. We're going to take a small break. I'm going to let you all marinate on that, and we will be back shortly with more PTSD and coping during the holidays.
Don't make dollars if it don't make sense. Addicted to the money and these damn presidents. I'm stacking up.
Hey love, welcome back to the ChiLove radio show. It's Melanie Monday, Pop Radio Worldwide, iHeartRadio, and Spotify Premium. Tune in. So we're talking about coping mechanisms during the holidays, coping with PTSD and the trauma of not having a loved one around, or you could have had a certain traumatic incident happen during the holidays that just make you feel really depressed during this time. Again, some Facebook shout outs: Anthony Benton, Robert Thompson, Tyrone Christopher, Eric Mays I saw. Much love to you all. And anybody that I'm not seeing is love, and I get you. Okay, so let's go to the next. So, okay, we were talking about different tips. So one tip was to choose what functions you will attend. Okay, so you choose which functions you're going to attend. That should take away some of the overwhelming feeling of, okay, what am I going to do? Sometimes you have to just sit down and make a plan. So once you figure out which functions you will and won't attend, then you should develop a exit strategy, or as I like to call, a risk management plan. Because unfortunately, everything does not always go the way that you plan it. So if you decide to go over grandmama's house and you know cousin JoJo is going to be there and you don't like JoJo not crazy about you, but you love you some Lala. So you wanna still see Lala. So okay, you're gonna decide I gotta go to Granny's. You know, this might be Granny's last Christmas. You got to go to Granny's. I'm going to stay 30 minutes to an hour maybe. Okay. Are you driving? If you don't have your own transportation, then you may have to wait on whoever brought you there to leave. And if that's the case, they may not want to leave, within 30 minutes to an hour after just getting to Granny's house. So then what is it that you do then? You can always hook up a Uber account or a Lyft account. Please check my last video about the Uber situation I had, which was just so crazy. But I will say that we cannot generalize a people in the totality, in the form of in a total form. We cannot include everybody and say, you know, all Uber drivers or all police or all men or all women, because it's simply not true. There was an incident with an Uber driver that was a little scary, freaked me out a little bit. But the rest of my Uber drivers have been pretty good. And I even had one who stayed on the phone.
I gave you a knife now.
I know, right? And I got it in my purse. So, yes, I do. So it was one who actually stayed on the phone with me, because as I was trying to get to him, a gentleman who I guess was interested. I'm trying to get around his car, and he wanted to make it to where I couldn't get past his car or whatever. So the Uber driver stayed on the phone until I got into his car. So just to say that, you know, you can't generalize and think that everybody, just because they fit the profile, is going to give you the same results. So just keep an open mind. But if you do have any warning signs or feel any type of fear, then of course contact some type of authority and do what you need to do to keep yourself safe. So okay, let's get back to the exit strategy. So okay, you're there with your cousin, you're not driving, and you have to be there for more than an hour that you intended to be there. You don't have an account, you don't have a bank account or whatever to hook up the Uber or the Lyft. Okay, what you can do is you can meditate. You can go on YouTube. You can use your phone. We use this phone, our phones, for everything. They can be lifesavers at certain points. You can play a favorite game, you know, on your phone, something to help to distract you if you start to feel overwhelmed. You can go to another room. You can find cousin Lala and just kind of stick by her side until the other cousin is ready to go. You can reach out to another friend or something and see if maybe they can come by and get you, so that you don't have to stay within that energy that's making you feel overwhelmed and anxious for longer than you have to. So it's always a good idea to just try to keep some type of risk management plan, a what if, and to have yourself covered. If you have certain comfort foods, have that in your bag, and you can nibble on that to try to just keep you calmer. Whatever self-soothing mechanisms that you use for yourself, it's good to have it around, and just maybe have you like a little anxiety bag, and certain things that make you feel better. Kind of instantly, you can have that with you, so you can just go to it.
Melanie, you recommend any of the CBD oils or any of that?
Oh yeah, you definitely can. The CBD oils, they are good for anxiety.
I never tried that.
Yeah, you can put them up under. I heard that the best results are if you put it under your tongue. Yeah, you know, and then you can put that stuff on your skin. You know, they do have a lot of stuff now out here with the CBD oils. To help to decrease the anxiety and the overwhelming feeling that so much of us have on a daily basis.
Well, thank God for January 1st.
OMG, yes.
And in the noise, at least.
Yes. Okay, so let's go to our third tip. And I want you to know that it is not your job to keep everyone happy during the holiday season. Especially we as women, you know, we have a lot of weight on us just throughout the year, period. But especially during the holidays, especially if you're a mom or anything, you have nieces and nephews, or just that might have just been the role that you kind of played, you know, over the years in the family, to where you're the one or one of the ones who step up a lot of times. That in itself can be so draining, especially if you don't have that positive support system who's able to come in and take some of the weight off of you sometimes. And okay, yes, the children, look, take care of your business and do what you have to do with that. But as far as adults, additional adults, or other situations that you honestly don't have to do, it's okay to say, you know what, I can't do that this time. You know, maybe next time. Or as a matter of fact, I just can't do this for you at all anymore, because it's draining me. And if that person loves you, of course they'll be disappointed by hearing that you are no longer their crutch or their enabler. But if they really love you, they will understand that and start to apply the knowledge to pick themselves up, so that they don't even have to put that weight on a loved one. Sometimes people only love you because you're beneficial for them. But it's not really you that they're connected to. So those relationships are a great start to sever. And you allowing people to drain you of your energy, drain you of your time. You can't get your own stuff together because you constantly pouring out to people who not even grateful for you, for your presence. They take what they need from you and then it's on to the next until they need you again. So those are great relationships, especially going into 2020, starts to sever the energetic ties. And don't be so occupied with, oh, this person not going to like me anymore. They didn't like you in the first place. They only like what you was doing for them. And that is okay. Look yourself in the mirror and say, well, you know what, I like you. And be happy with that. I know I like to see myself smile. So if I have to put a frown, if you have to put a frown on somebody else's face, ideally I like for everything to work out for everyone. But those are not the cases all the time. Sometimes you're put in a position to where you have to choose in order to save your own life because who you're connected to is not healthy for you. So yes, you can tell people, no, I'm not going to do it. Or I'll do it this time, but I'm not going to do it next time. Or I'll help you with this part, but I'm not going to do the whole thing for you. And if they don't appreciate that and can't accept it, then you go through the healing process of mourning them up out of your life. Because one thing I will tell you is that when you start to release that negative energy and those negative people who were just energy vampires, you actually start to elevate. You have a clearer mind. And you're able to make better decisions as far as who you are engaging with. Sometimes trauma brings two people together. And y'all together because of the hurt, because of the lack, because of the struggle. And at first it might start out, you know, like it seems like it's helpful. But after a certain time, somebody's going to grow during that time. And somebody's going to be trying to come out. And somebody might be comfortable just staying in their chaos. And once you start to realize that, then you have to make that decision, not just for yourself, but for them too, to say, okay, we need to redirect how this is going. And it is okay. As I say, all love really is from the self. As long as you got some love inside of yourself, it's nice from others. But the core of it is from within. And that's one thing we must know. So I want to just give a few little shout outs again from some of my people. I see Christopher McNeil, I said it Callahan, Matthew Poe, Eric Mays, much love, much love. And it's okay to avoid certain little events that you once were always going to and attending and giving your all in. You have to assess and evaluate each of your relationships because you do matter. Your feelings matter, your thoughts matter, your livelihood matters. They talk about selfishness. And one thing we have to realize is that we have to all share this space while we're here. So yes, to be considerate of others is a good thing. But not so considerate of somebody else that you are a detriment to yourself. So there has to be a balance. Because if the type of relationship that you had was really going well and was healthy for you, you would not have these overwhelming feelings of anxiety and depression when certain people come along or when you have certain thoughts or emotions about certain situations. So I'm going to tell you all to be realistic. Just don't force yourself. Pull back. You know what it is that you're involved with. You know what you're facing. You know what you have to endure. Regardless of anybody else who is saying, oh, well, no, you got this, you could do it, and people give you that little motivational pep talk, and sometimes they're giving you that pep talk because they need you to get up because it's really about them. They need you to do something for them. But you need to do what is best for you. Sometimes you need to just pull back. You can have that dark time to where it's just complete silence, to where the phone is off, the TV is off, and you're just with self. And you can meditate and you can pray, or you can just do nothing. I'm so busy, it's like you look forward to doing nothing sometimes. And doing nothing is good sometimes because you need that time to recharge. You're not a robot. And people say, well, I'll sleep when I die. Well, it seems like you're trying to get there faster than your original intent. We want to do good. We want to be successful. We have to pay the bills. There are responsibilities that we are held to. But we must start to create a balance. We must start to acknowledge who is for us and who is not for us, regardless of the family type of relationship, regardless of the business relationship, regardless of the social status of the person. If it is not healthy for you, you need to at least acknowledge it first of all. And I'm not saying that because you have disagreements or something with a person that they're just not healthy for you. We're individuals. But stuff that is causing you trauma, disrupting your sleep, bringing tears down your eyes, causing you to rage out. Hey Bobby, hey Carrie, love y'all. You need to start to make plans to distance yourself from that, or to address the situation and say, hey, this is what's going on. This is how I'm feeling like our relationship is one-sided. I move more for you than you do for me. Whatever the situation is. And you can see if, maybe sometimes somebody's so wrapped up in their own mess that they don't even see that they being inconsiderate of others, that they being selfish, that they finessing, all out of self-preservation. Hey, love. Follow me on Facebook under Melanie Hogan, and you will see the ChiLove page. Also follow Pop Caliente, Pop Radio Worldwide on Facebook. Go to YouTube and follow Pop Caliente, Pop Radio Worldwide, as well as the ChiLove channel on YouTube. Go to Twitter. Again, you can find me as Melanie Hogan 7. You will see the ChiLove logo there, and you can go to Pop Radio Worldwide on Twitter as well. You can also find me on LinkedIn under Melanie Hogan. I look forward to seeing you. Hey, welcome back to the ChiLove Radio Show. It's Melanie Monday, Pop Radio Worldwide, iHeartRadio, and Spotify Premium. Shout out to my Facebook friends and followers, Samantha Tatum, Janice Collins. Hey, loves. Hey, family. Thanks for joining me. So we've been talking about coping with PTSD during the holidays, since it seems to be such a depressing time for a lot of people, especially here in Chicago, with all of the unnecessary/necessary, you never know the situation, definitely. Hey Tyrone, welcome back. So we've been giving tips so far. A few, which was to choose what you'll do this holiday season. The power is in your hand. A lot of times we feel overwhelmed and a lot of anxiety because we feel like we are losing control, that we have no control in the situation. So to choose what you'll do, choose what events you'll attend and which the people that you will engage in, and then put a time limit on the people and the places that you'll be spending your time with, if you know that you can only handle so much of them before you're starting to feel overwhelmed by their presence. Also create an exit strategy. Know that it is not your job to please everyone. Be realistic about what you can and cannot do. A lot of times we're always trying to please everybody. We don't want to miss out on certain things, so we'll overbook ourselves, overwork ourselves, do so much for other people that by the time it's time to take care of ourselves, we're just too exhausted to do so. So start to take the time to be realistic and say, hello Jeff Green, thank you for joining us, love. To say I cannot do this right now, and that it's okay. I'm going to miss this event. I'm going to stay in this time. So after being realistic, sometimes you need to get some alone time. Now, for those who are plagued with depression and major depression, isolating yourself is not the answer. But getting some alone time to where you just shut down for a little while, shut the world out, and just go inside yourself and really face and acknowledge how you're feeling, why you're feeling like this, what it is that you could do to make the situation better if you can. If there is no quick fix, what is it that you can do? Because sometimes the best thing that you could do is just try to make sure that it doesn't happen again. We get a lot of trauma and overwhelming feeling of anxiety because we wish something didn't happen like that. We wish we could turn back the hands of time. We wish we had answered that call. We wish we had went this way instead of that way. And that causes a lot of strain on yourself because you can't do anything about it. So the fact that you can't do anything about it and then it happened, that causes more stress. That causes more anxiety and depression. So sometimes you have to just accept it. Okay, this happened. I don't like that this happened. This impacted me by A, B, C, and D. Because of A, B, C, and D, I feel like E, F, G, H, and I. And you go through those processes and you go through, those thoughts and you write the stuff down and you make a plan of action for yourself. And you walk it out. And if you find that does not work for you, after all, then sometimes you need to go back and just tweak some things in certain places. Or sometimes you may feel like it don't work for you at all. And then you push that to the side and you use your brain and you come up with something else. Or you start to search and you start to Google or you start to talk to people who have been in a similar situation as you and see how are you getting through this process. And it's okay, it's a good thing to do because you need that time to recharge. If you are not your best self, you're not giving your best results to the people that are around you. You're not being the best parent, the best woman, the best man, the best aunt, daughter, cousin, whatever it is. You're not being the best because you still have so much weight on your own shoulders. So it's okay to just shut down sometimes and say, you know what? I need to get me together. I've been running and I've been pushing and I'm over here and I'm over there. And I need to just take some time to find out what it is that I need. What is going to bring me peace of mind. A lot of times we run from situations because we don't want to deal with certain things that have happened. So you work and you keep pushing yourself into your work. Any little avenue you in it. And you're doing great on a professional level. But on the inside and on a personal level and social level with people that know you kind of an a-hole or something. You're coming across wrong. But you're good at your talent and what you do. But your personal relationships are a wreck. Sometimes you need to take a moment to step back and see what is going on here. Why are people responding to me the way that they are? Does the root of the situation even have something to do with this, or is this something that I'm dealing with and I'm pouring out? Because whatever goes into you is going to pour out. Hey, Latanya. Hey, Lashonica. Hey, family. So yeah, it's going to pour out of you. And unfortunately, you have your loved ones around you, people who love you for real, and you're expounding this negativity, you're spelling it all over the people that you proclaim that you love. You're traumatizing them by your own trauma. And when you find and you look around and you see that you falling out with everybody, you hollering and cursing everywhere, the behaviors that you're engaging in are becoming more and more unhealthy. You're listening to people that good and well you ain't got no business listening to because they can't lead themselves. That's when you need to take a step back and say, let me reevaluate this situation and be real with what is going on in my life. And sometimes you will realize that it stems all the way back from childhood. And you just never addressed it. Because a lot of families tell you you got Jesus and you keep going. But you have to address the situation. Sometimes you don't even realize that it bothered you until months, years later. So that something could happen and just re-trigger everything. And now you just turned your life around because now you're moving different. You're not thinking and making decisions with the same clarity of mind that you used to. And you want the love, but you don't even know how to receive it because all you got all this anger pouring up out of you. You got all this turmoil. You walking around with a fake smile on your face. Everybody like to put on shades. Why? Because you can't see my eyes. Well, you see my eyes a little bit in this, but you know what I'm saying. You can't see the eyes. So if I got shades now I'm wearing a mask because I don't want everybody to know that something is wrong with me. I want to come across as normal. I don't want to be a red flag to where people are now discussing or saying, or just noticing that something is wrong. Especially if you are the type of person where you smile a lot and people used to seeing you happy and used to seeing you positive, and for you not to have that, that's a red flag to people. So you don't want to say, I'm feeling weak. I'm so used to being there and being strong for everybody else that I myself am feeling weak now. And yes, sometimes the people that you helping, they can't help you back. That's why it's good to have other people who can feed you. But I'm going to let that marinate, and I'm hoping that this discussion here is helpful to you all. And we will be back momentarily with the ChiLove Radio Show, Melanie Monday, Pop Radio Worldwide, iHeartRadio, and Spotify Premium. It's all love, baby.
I'm addicted to the money. I'm addicted to the cash.
Addicted to the money, addicted to the cash. Them suckers blowing smoke, baby, I be the gas. Real deal when I
ChiLove Radio, Melanie Monday, Pop Radio Worldwide, iHeartRadio, and Spotify Premium. Thank you all for being in tune with me this Monday, for my Monday from 7 to 8. We've been talking about coping with PTSD during the holidays, and I've been giving you all tips so far. We were talking about choosing what you will and won't engage in, and not having any guilt with that. Making an exit strategy, just in case your plan don't work out. You were going to only stay for 20 to 30 minutes. Your ride wants to stay for the duration of it, and coping skills to get you through that part until you can get home. It is not your job to keep everyone happy. You yourself are a priority, and you should start to make yourself a priority. Be realistic. Get some alone time. Do not isolate yourself, but definitely have some time where it is just you and your thoughts, just you and your just you and your spirit, you and your soul. Just relax. And I want to tell you not to think ahead, because a lot of times we get overwhelmed just by thinking about what it is that we need to do. So don't think ahead. Don't try to give too much. Hey, Shadyville Love, thanks for tuning in and watching. Don't think about it too hard about what it is that you need to do. You go over it. Welcome back, Tyrone. You go over it, and you do the best that you can do, and you set it up as best as you can. Don't anticipate, because we go for patterns, and then with certain people, like I say, cousin JoJo might just be an a-hole or something, and now you're just like, I don't want to see him because I just know he's going to say woo after bam. I just know he's gonna do. And it's like that right there in itself is causing anxiety. And you never know, this year for Christmas, cousin JoJo might have matured some and it's not doing the same thing. So he may have realized how he hurt you and wants to apologize. But in the meantime, because you're anticipating that part of cousin JoJo, now you're overwhelmed and you're feeling anxious, and it's adding to your depression, and you really don't want to go even before you got there. So that is good right there. So you just try to stay in the moment. Practice deep breathing from the stomach, so where you should inhale, and as you inhale, you should push your stomach out. No, I'm sorry. Inhale. As you inhale, you should push your stomach out, and when you exhale, your stomach should go back in towards your back, because then it's then pushing out that extra air and that extra energy. So that type of breathing from the stomach. When you inhale, you bring all the air in, so you get a little tummy for yourself. Push it out. And then when you exhale, your stomach should be going towards your back and letting all of that out. And do that in a few times, 3 times, 5 times, whatever it is that's going to start to calm you down. And just utilize certain coping mechanisms that you're going to need to get through it. That you have to get through it. So just start to apply the knowledge. I'm here with you. We will get through it together. Knowledge is the key for your survival. And once you have the knowledge, start to apply it. I know that it's easier said than done, especially when you're going through depression. You know, you can want to get up, but your brain like, I'm not going to do it. So your leg's not going to move. So that's why you have that support system. And sometimes you need to tell people, you know, I'm going through this right now. I need somebody to call and check on me. I need you to come over so that I can get out the bed, so that I can get here. So, you know, you ultimately are going to have to find what works best for you. And if you don't have any support, then, sweetheart, you're going to have to motivate yourself to do the work to pull yourself out. And I'm saying hugs to you because I know it's not easy. And it's a process. But you can do it. We can do anything here in Chicago. It's all love and ChiLove. So we're going to, you know, wrap it up. I will see y'all in a little while.
Sponsors. We got some sponsors to talk about.
I'm going on that. We're going to wrap. You threw me off. I'm talking about wrapping up and talking about the coping mechanism.
I thought you was running on me.
Not the show, no.
Yeah.
You done threw me off. Hey, Timothy. It's all love, babe. Yeah, so those are just some coping mechanisms that I wanted to share with you all. Hopefully they help. Everything that I do, I'm trying to, you know, help others. As you help others, you ultimately help yourself, because I promise you, you know, none of us are so high on a horse or have so much money or status or whatever to where we can't understand anxiety or depression or conflict or any of that. You know, it can hit us on any level. So hopefully this is all helpful for you all. That is my intent, just to, you know, my way of showing love. And hopefully you'll be able to help somebody else too, because you may not be going through it, but you may know somebody who is, and you may feel like the information is helpful. So, you know, pass it forward. Just continue to spread the love. It's easy to give love when the situation is perfect.
I need some hotline numbers up here. I need suicide hotline at the station. I need suicide numbers. I need all them helpline numbers at the station, so we can give it to them weekly.
Definitely. Yes. Yeah, we will have referrals for you all. For you all to call into hotline numbers, support
next week
groups,
we're
and so forth, so that you all can have that on hand. Because I'm, you know, at 8 o'clock, I'm going home.
Everybody needs some help.
And it's always something that we can be working on within ourselves to improve. Even if it's like how just how we respond to what it is that's going on. The situation may be bad in itself, but the way that we responded to it just made it horrible. And now, you know, it's a catastrophe some type of way. So we all have things that we have to work on. You know, I like to say that there are no bad people. There are people who do bad things. You know, that's a little easier on the mind. Because I don't Satan himself, when he was originated, he was good. He was in heaven. So I can't even say that all of him is evil, because that's not how he started out. So even if it's a little tiny little grain salt worth of light, it's still there. And we're energy. So you can grow that light. You just have to start to make different decisions. You may have to distance yourself from certain people. When you're trying to elevate in life and get to a certain place, you can't have the same people with you, all of the same people with you who was with you back when you was doing your other stuff. Their mentality is not going to take you where you need to go. Their mentality was good for the block. They helped you get through that part. But now you want to be a businessman. So now you need to start to hang around more businessmen. You want to be a good man to your woman. So maybe you should start to hang around good men. Men who are good to their woman. You have to start to change your environment. And it's work. And people be afraid of putting in the work. But what you going to do? Turn into a zombie? Because you're going to be stagnant if you don't put in the work. You're going to find that you are repeating cycles in your life if you don't put in the work and start to acknowledge the warning signs and the triggers when they come. So I love y'all. Y'all know the ChiLove radio show is sponsored by who? ChiLove LLC is me, baby. I want to thank Pop Radio Worldwide. This is a great platform. Check out, iHeartRadio and Spotify Premium. And we have a few announcements before I go. This month in December, my birthday month, Christmas and such, right before we start the new year. Hey, Muhammad, love family. We're going to be giving away a lot because it's cold here in Chicago during the winter time. So the ChiLove Pantry is going to be moving throughout the city to give away clothing, warm clothing. So if you know somebody or a group of people or you yourself who need any particular items, please contact me. You can contact me on Facebook under Melanie Hogan. And you can go to my ChiLove page, or you can email me at ChiLoveChicago@gmail.com. That is ChiLoveChicago@gmail.com. Love, Chris Cash. Thanks for joining in. Also, the ChiLove Tax Max Refund business is opening, and we're hiring. So if you're interested in preparing taxes and becoming an agent, you can email me at ChiLoveTaxMaxRefund@yahoo.com. We gonna get it around here, baby. That's what we do. Next Monday is my birthday, so I hope you all tune in because I'm trying to have a little fun. I don't know exactly what I want to do. Can we have a little mini party up in here?
Yeah, you paying enough rent. You paying enough rent. You do what you want at your time.
Have a little mini party up in here or something.
Yeah, we can do that. No more than 10 in the station. Yeah. Okay. And 9 got to be females. You feel me?
You something else. I want to give a shout out to Hypno Carlito. Yeah. Check out his Good Karma featuring Lil Durk, Mose, YBN, Almighty J, Twister, and more. So check out Hypno Carlito.
Yes.
And if you would like to have your music or whatever it is that you're doing featured on the ChiLove radio show, you can contact me at ChiLove Chicago through my Facebook, Melanie Hogan, and we can help to set that up. We're also looking for sponsors. If you would like to be a sponsor for the ChiLove radio show, you can contact me under Melanie Hogan on Facebook or ChiLoveChicago@gmail.com. This has been a wonderful segment for me. I hope it has been for you all.
Let them keep it tore, man. Foreplay with a dab, whip it sauce on it. No slow ride with my dash, baby, all on it. Get out of my lane, baby, hard body. Scout with me.